Yeah. Welcome back to another edition of the Cruising Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Cruz. And today, well, actually, today's January 18th, Thursday, 2024. Yesterday, January 17th, was my father's birthday. And I'm sorry, I've completely. I'll get to why I didn't have a podcast yesterday. But yeah, happy birthday to my father. One half of my yin and yang of anger. But to tell you the truth, where that happened, why that makes sense is because where you can find the Cruising Podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, YouTube, and anywhere else you can find your podcast needs. That's where you can find the Cruising Podcast. Also, where you can find the latest updates to the show is on Instagram at Cruising Podcast, also on Twitter at Nicetown Fitness. Left you guys with a cliffhanger a little bit. There you go. Um, yeah, as you guys know, I've had a lot. I've had quite a few episodes about my mom. But we're gonna have a episode about my dad. The other half of the birthing process of the greatness that you see here today. And yeah, he is. I don't know which one is yin and yang, mostly because I completely forget like the whatever. But my mom's anger is for like constructive criticisms and make you kind of look a little, little stupid. I mean, she'll make you feel dumb when she in argument mode. See, my dad's side of my anger is more of a destructive one. Okay, that's where these hands were not made for creating; they were made for destruction. And any type of words that I say is to try to provoke something, saying if that's his side of the anger for me. Nah, I'm joking. My let me tell you something, man. Um, the stories I heard about my father, apparently he used to run around Philadelphia and run on the track. I just want to let him know that that part of the gene pool did not get passed down to me, mostly because I can't run for no fucking reason. I'm sorry, I can't do it. It's just something. I know. I should. You know what's crazy? That's what he used to do. He's a runner. You put a basketball or a football or a tennis ball in front of me, I'm gonna run that bad boy down. I can run for days doing that. Just running just to run, I can't do that. I have to have something in front of me to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that part of the gene pool definitely did not get passed down. Apparently he's very good at trivia, and knowing like really general knowledge stuff, and that got passed down for sure. And love for sports, especially. I'm telling you, okay, it's gonna sound crazy, and I know he may remember this, but when I was a kid, so you can't find this video anywhere. I haven't been able to find this video anywhere, but I remember being at his house one day and watching like I think it was ESPN Classics or something. Like you like something he had tapes of old. I know he had boxing tapes at one point, but I want to tell you other stuff that my dad also had. But what's crazy is that so Joe Rogan talks about this at least if he's talking to like a boxing expert or an MMA expert. Joe Rogan will tell you about this video where he sees Marvin Hagler, I think either running on the beach or running in like a winter type like these running in the cold. I forgot which one it was. It's kind of crazy how like it's like literally yin and yang seasons. But I remember watching Marvin Hagler running and just yelling war before. I think this is before the Tommy Hearns fight. If I'm remembering wrong, I understand. I was very young, but I remember that video because my dad had that video. Either he had the video or I just happened to watch it at his house one day. Now, my parents are big kung fu fans. Okay. I'm sorry. I brought that up because it was kind of cool. To know like Joe Rogan like unlocked a memory for me with that was with my dad. Sorry, that's why. Let me try to finish that thought real quick. It's pretty cool. So my parents are kung fu fans. Both. My dad probably is biggest one. Is definitely bigger one. I will definitely say that. The dude had he had me watching Black Belt Jones. And just in case people don't know who Black Belt Jones is, that's Jim Kelly. Not the football. I was about to say baseball. What the hell is wrong with me? Not the football quarterback that lost 4 straight Super Bowls. We're not talking about him. No, I'm sorry. My fault. Jim Kelly's he was one of my favorite quarterbacks. I used to love Jim Kelly. But um, no, we used to watch those films, Black Belt Jones for sure. I remember watching Jim Kelly. I remember watching Enter the Dragon. I remember when I got a little bit older and was at his house one day and we watched Black Mask, like the Jet Li stuff. Like if it was there and it was kung fu, he was watching it, and it was awesome. It was something that he's the reason he's him he's really the reason why I definitely have gotten into like Bruce Lee stuff, like Water. I watched that documentary. I learned so much about Bruce Lee I didn't know about. I mean, like the dude had me watching, scary movies. Also, this was my fault. I apparently, it was my fault. Okay, this is the reason why I can't watch Chucky to this day because I saw what was it? Child's Play. I thought it was supposed to be, a children's movie. We all think that a movie called Child's Play is supposed to be for children. That 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 was half true. I mean, it was a doll. You know what I'm saying? Kids play with dolls, right? But at the same time, this doll got the spirit of a serial killer taken into the doll's body, and he becomes the serial killer in doll form. Now, here's the thing. The other half of the birthing rights, my mother, she had porcelain dolls. Okay. Also, I remember watching Pet Cemetery at one point at his crib too. I'm not Pet Cemetery. What's the one? Puppet Master. I remember watching Puppet Master too. And I don't think I forgot. He can tell you mad stories about me, by the way. Mad stories. Like he remember, like his memory is amazing. I think that my memory bug definitely comes from either or. They both have very good memories, like elephant brains. I don't know. I was just a perfect mixture of like steroid brain person. No, I'm joking. Okay, let me stop. We watched Puppet Master. I remember this. Okay, just putting it out there. I remember watching Puppet Master. I was a kid. Why would you let me watch? No, I'm playing. Nah, I think the workout bug definitely comes from him too. You know what I'm saying? Like he had like pig iron downstairs back in the basement and stuff like that. My pops was he's a good man. You know what I'm saying? We were estranged there for a while. For quite a while. And getting back to him, you know what I mean, and having conversations like it's crazy because he was an Oakland Raiders fan and now Las Vegas Raiders fan. I think he still is. He might be. Who knows? Nah, I'm playing. Nah, sitting around and being able to talk about the old times, like back in kids don't understand what the '90s was. All right, you know what I mean? Like it was '90s watching these films. And these were '70s films we were watching, and they were good. Okay, I was ingrained in watching kung fu films before the age of 10. Okay, it's awesome. All right, it was a great time. I was out, and by the time I turned 13, I was watching other, like Jet Li and Jackie Chan. Like I got into Drunken Master is one of my favorite. I think Drunken Master is the best Jackie Chan kung fu movie of all time. I don't care. I love Drunken Master. It's one of my favorites. My brothers watched Black Mask before I did, but we watched Black Mask. And I watched Black Mask at my father's house. He had it. I think actually what's crazy is, was it on VHS? It might have been a VHS thing or DVD. He probably had it on DVD. Knowing him, it's probably on DVD or VHS. But either or, we watched it there, man. It was just like these are fond memories. You know what I'm saying? Watching these movies. Actually, I spent 20 what was it, 2000, the year 2000, New Year's thing. We at his crib. You know what I'm saying? So there's great times there. It was awesome times. Still he had a rough year last year himself. I'm not going to get too far. I mean, I ain't going to get too far deep in it. Like I said, I lost 2 grandfathers in the same month. One of them being his father, and then also him losing his wife around this shit almost 2 months after or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was a very rough year for him also, and um, it's just you know, you pray for better days and things like that, man. Also, I ain't gonna put too much of his business out there, but it's just it was a rough going, and I'm just happy that he's on the other side of it. I know he's every day he's probably still feeling some pain, still feeling this that. Yeah, man, you just pray. I mean, that's all you can. Also, I just would like to say is that both my parents gave me double chances of having allergies, and guess what? I have allergies, and my throat itches like hell tonight and it sucks. All right, I don't want to take Zyrtec. Okay, I don't want to. Zyrtec can go eat it, but I might have to take a Zyrtec tonight because my nose and throat is itching like a motherfucker. And I didn't know that I got this. I can know how to scratch. It's weird because like I've never heard him until I started doing it, and he started scratching his throat. I was like, damn, I must have got that from him too. Wait, like my heritage must be very off. Yeah, man, it's just happy birthday to my dad. Great man, good person. You know, it's just I mean, we are trying. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a very communicative person. That's probably my problem. I'm not a good communicator. Yeah, I'm not great. I'm not the greatest. I mean, I do a podcast, but like I gotta be better at reaching out to people. I'm trying to be better at reaching out to people. You know what I'm saying? Especially of light of other events that have happened in my life that I need to be better at that. But you know, thought I'd do a podcast. I mean, that do kind of an episode for him, man. Because he deserves it. Every there's two halves of me, baby, and that's he's one of them. So, yeah, man. Happy birthday to my dad. I would like to say, yeah, man, what is wrong with me today? I'm like spacey right now. That's so weird. Like I have so many because I have, what's the problem is? I have two podcasts in my mind right now because I have to do one. I'm doing a regular one here, and then I'm doing another one tonight that's going to be Patreon. And I got them all mixed up in my brain right now. I'm just like, wait, what are you doing? Oh my gosh. Oh no, guys, don't don't drink and drive. No, I'm joking. Actually I've been drinking this liquid death. Hold on. So I got this liquid death right here, right? It's like, what is it called? Rest in Peach. It's actually pretty good. I remember when liquid death only had two types of liquid death. It was a sparkling type, and it was just a regular mountain water. Oh, sorry. There was a regular mountain water type. And I would just like to say that once they started adding flavors to Liquid Death, turned into a whole different situation. This is delicious. I love this, and it's quenching my thirst. I mean, it's not, it's kind of doing its job, but I don't think this is. No, this one is a sparkling. What's crazy? I've been drinking it, and I was telling myself, "Wow, is this one sparkling?" And I knew it wasn't because it was just stupid on my part. You know what I mean? Look, I'm a regular human being. Okay, I do dumb things all the time. Do not judge me for that situation. Judge me for my legacy. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing my old. Oh shit! I'm wearing my old shit. Okay, I didn't even notice. But yeah, man. Yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on. Right? You know what I've been watching? Okay, go to sleep. Um, Tacoma FD. I would have to say this. It's actually pretty funny. It's Farva. It's Farva and Mac from Super Troopers. What is going on here? Thank you. All right, that was weird. It's actually Farva and Mac from Super Troopers that are heading like this show about firefighters, pretty much a day in the life of firefighters, like they do, but pretty much it's at the bunkhouse mostly. That's where the they'll go on call like here and there, some of the episodes, but it's mostly bunkhouse stuff. And I would just like to say that this show is funny as fuck. And also like I'm sleeping and I was sitting there and it's a good show to go to sleep to. I ain't gonna lie to you. Especially like I've watched Rick and Morty for probably the past like 2 years to go to bed. Like I get in these modes where I can only watch a certain type of shows before I go to sleep. And they have to be on. I'm sorry. I'm scared of the dark and I'm scared of no noise before I go to bed. I'm sorry. Don't I mean to my future wife, it's just what's going to happen. Is I'm not. It's not you. It's me. All right, it's me. But I'm just saying, like, I enjoy watching these shows. I watch those shows. Like, I did this with Archer. Like, I used to watch Archer before I go to bed every night. I used to watch Archer every night before I went to bed. I went and watched, and then I watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine every night for like, these are years until Brooklyn Nine-Nine got taken off of Hulu. And then they went to Peacock, and I'm like, yeah, you can. I won't be switching to that. I refuse. You won't do this to me. And so then I started watching Rick and Morty. And the reason why I started watching Rick and Morty, hold on. My sister got me watching it because she had me watch the Mr. Meese's episode. And then we watched Pickle Rick. Now, Mr. Meese's episode, hilarious. Pickle Rick is at a different level of life, of hilarity. That is by far one of the greatest cartoon episodes I ever watched in my life. When the dude straight murked a bunch of mice. No, yeah, a bunch of mice or rats. Okay, hold on. Before we even do this, okay, we've always had this argument. I've had this argument with people too. So is a mouse the one that's inside the house? Like it's inside. The mouse is inside, and then outside are they rats? What's the difference? I would love to know that. I refuse to Google it. This is for you guys. What's the difference between a mouse and a rat? Because I feel like a mouse, but then again, you have field mice. So field mice are outside. I don't get it. I don't get it. Well, you call them field rats. You just call them rats. Like, what's the difference? Like, is the rat bigger? Is a mouse smaller? I don't know. I feel like what's the one that caused the plague that we, need to stay away from? That's the one we need to stay away from. The one that causes plagues. That's the guy that needs to stay where he needs to stay. But when he murked all those mice, or damn, I said mice, all those rats or mice, whatever the fuck was inside that sewer. Whenever he did that as a pickle, that was probably the most sickest thing I ever watched in my life. You know what's crazy about Rick and Morty is that it touches on American um like American cartoons, Western cartoons, I guess I can say. But at the same time, it has like anime tones to it to a T. It's anime tones to it. I think that's also like a thing that when I watch kung fu films, especially when you watch the ones where it's the dub is very much delayed, and I think that's also like a precursor to why I started watching anime and stuff like that because especially sword shit. I love watching anything with a sword. There's a reason why I love Bleach. It's a reason, what I mean, I love so many different ones. I probably need to watch what's his name? Not Fairy Tale. What's the fuck, what's the one I was thinking of? Damn, the one with Asa. Oh, it's gonna bother me. Ah, let me see. Hold on, Asa. Before I fuck this up. Uh Black Clover. There we go. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry, my fault. It's on me. But yeah, man, I think that's why I watched that. Dragon Ball Z and things like that. I think kids in the '90s grew up with parents that were born in the '60s and '70s, and also like and were raised in the '80s. But their parents were watching like '70s, '60s, and '70s films, and like we got ingrained with that. I think that's what was great about the '90s kids, about us '90s kids, is that we we have the parents that were watching these films and that they really ingrained those films into us. And I think that's why the '90s kids are more cultured. I would have to say, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna tell you the truth. That's where the culturing begins, is actually between like the '80s and '90s, I would say. But I would think that we watched like those films, and then that's what transformed like our nerdum into like going to watch anime. Like I think so. That maybe I sound crazy, maybe I don't sound right for saying that, but I think that's why we were able to watch like Asian films, and then the transfer of those films going into cartoons and mixing those type of films into a cartoon setting. I think that's what made us really love anime, especially in the 90s. Maybe that's, I don't know. I think the stories from them, that you can make them so fantastic if you drew them. You know what I'm saying? I think, and that's why we love them. I think so. I think that with that attributes to my mom and my father. You know what I'm saying? They both got me watching martial arts films. I fucking love them. I love them. Okay. And yeah, man. Yeah. So what's song was stuff that I go to sleep to. Not what I don't. I've never been a white noise person, like how people do to like the ocean noises and stuff. And everybody's like, "Yeah, man, maybe you should turn off the TV. That's probably why you're not sleeping well." I don't give a fuck. I want to watch. Fuck you. Well, maybe you should go watch. Maybe you should watch a blank screen all day. The fuck? I don't like that. Nah, I'm going to bed with shit on the TV so I can sleep peacefully and with noise. I've always been like that. I don't know why. It's just how I've always been. It is what it is. All right. Because I'm scared of the dark. Because what I mean, I'm a dark man, but I am also scared of darks. Okay. So, if you feel as though that you want to talk some shit, that's fine. But scrap it out. No, but like, yeah, man. I completely forgot what I've been watching. Oh, that's what it was. Damn, that's what I was thinking. Okay, so I finished the last 3 episodes of Zom 100. First of all, Netflix is quick about it because Netflix has a live action movie of Zom 100, by the way. Why? Why? The anime wasn't even done yet. Why are we doing live action? Like, they literally did a live action movie. Once again, big mistake. Like, I didn't watch it. I haven't watched it yet. I already know it's a mistake because you told me it's a movie. Zom 100 is not a movie type shit. You know what I'm saying? How are you gonna do all the bucket list stuff in a 2-hour movie? Doesn't make any sense. Once again, it's 13 episodes, 30 minutes, about 20 some odd minutes each. That's not 2 hours. That's way longer than 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, this doesn't make any sense. I hate when they make these whole anime fucking like epics into one movie. Doesn't make, you cannot put that show in one movie. You can't. You can't. There's no way. I refuse to think that that's even possible. But I watched the last 3 episodes where he finally, gets to his parents. It was a little cultural appropriation going on. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. You can't be mad. You know what I mean? I'm literally a black dude watching anime, wearing anime shirts, and we cosplays animes. Just putting it out there, not cultural appropriation. But we do have a problem. Okay. All right. The main character, Akira, decided to get dreads. Apparently, that was part of his bucket list. Sorry if this is a spoiler to you, but this came out on December 25th. Of that means that's Christmas time. I feel like spoilers can be. What is this? What is that? Oh, okay. I feel like spoilers are just, is what it is. All right. If you got a problem with it, fight me. You know what I'm saying? But now I think what was so great about this anime though is that it was beautiful. It was beautiful to watch. It was a different take on zombies because the zombies turned into different like vibrant colors. Like, this was actually a very colorful show for a zombie thriller. You know what I'm saying? And it was definitely a different take, and definitely a good take. It was a very good take on it. I would definitely suggest this anime for people because it's great, because it's like, it's supposed to be slice of life set into an anime world, but then it does get a little actiony here and there. It's just the sad, when you see him with his family, you know what I'm saying, and all, it's just his best friend wants to be a stand-up comedian. Like, there's so many stories that you can like really do a spin-off for this, and then it really doesn't finish. Also, if you watch the last episode, you have to watch the last credits. The credits, they just watch the last credits. That's all I can tell you. It's like a Marvel type deal. Just watch the last credits. But I truthfully enjoyed this show. I think it was a very fun show. I think they did an amazing job with just the story, just the different things that's on the bucket list that he wants to get done. The him trying to repay his parents for all they've done, for it's just the whole thing. And then you get one main villain. I thought it was a little quick. I ain't gonna lie to you. That the villain little arc for like 2 episodes, I think it was okay, but like they could have did something. I think you may have could have stretched that out a little bit longer, but I wish we got a little bit more of a back. Well, we got a pretty good backstory of the villain, of the villain of this one, of the last 3 episodes. I think we do get a little bit. Yeah, yeah. I just wish we got more of why he was a villain towards Akira and his friends. I would like to know. I wish there was more context to it. I think we got a little bit of it, but I think like I wish we got a full episode of why. What was his reason? What was his why for doing that? And yeah, man, like I said, Zom 100 was definitely a sneakily very, very good anime that people I think people might have fell off because they went through that hiatus. Like I said, it's bad when an anime goes through a hiatus like that, especially in the middle of their season, because it just seems like we're not going to get another season of this, which sucks. Because if that's the case, I'm gonna be pissed because I would love to see another season of like him completing the list. Like, and the crazy part is, he's like he's writing down the list as he's going through life in the zombie world. You know what I'm saying? Him and his friends go writing, and it's not just his list. It was just fucking awesome. I enjoyed that part of the story, by the way. I like I like I tell you guys, man, I think this show was very well done. It's beautiful. Like I said, I know I keep saying it, but it's so beautiful. I just the different colors and things. Oh my goodness. It made zombie. It's that, like I said, this is one of the most vibrant zombie show. It's not dark. Like the only dark part, I would say this: the last 3 episodes get a little dark, but at the same time, the zombies aren't like the colors of the zombies aren't dark. That's it. Like it could be nighttime, but the zombies are not dark at all. Man, shit, this is. Oh man, I want to rewatch it. I kind of want to watch. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably will watch the live action at some point in life, but I'm scared. I ain't gonna lie. I'm very afraid. I'm very afraid for this because it's gonna ruin it for me if it's bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, ah, man. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been watching. That's all I've watched. That's new, right? What's I watched? Django. Oh yeah, that Django show on Netflix. That's a weird show, man. I don't know how I feel about it yet. It's alright. I thought it was supposed to be like an Italian show. It says Italian underneath it, but it's really an American. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be a spaghetti western. I want to rewatch it and see what am I watching here. I haven't finished Reacher yet. I'm probably talking about Book of Canaan probably next week. We're going to do that next week. That's a next week type deal. But I do want to say one more time, happy birthday to my father, Anthony. Yeah, you amazing. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you keeping your head up. Hopefully you had a great day. Hopefully your birthday was a good day. And I think my love of cats come from him too. He's big cat guy. Me too. I don't give a fuck. If anybody got a problem with me being a cat guy, I like. How about this? How about I have a lion come to you? Okay, let's see how your lion does. Let's see how the lion does. You know what I'm saying? That, I mean, that cats are awesome. I like them. You know what I mean? The cat, they don't want to be fucked with unless they want to be fucked with. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. Cool. Cat can get fed, can feed itself, or get some water on his own. Like that's what cats can do. That's what I love about cats. So yeah, big cat guy. But yeah, yeah. So with that, where you can find the Cruising Podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, YouTube, and anywhere else you can find podcast needs. That's where you can find the Cruising Podcast. Also, where you can find latest updates of the show is on Instagram at Cruising Podcast, also on Twitter at Nicetown Finest. And with that, Please leave a written review on Apple Podcasts, and also leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That'd be great. Also please leave a 5-star review on Spotify if you guys get a chance, and then let me know how you're doing on Spotify. You know what I'm saying? I need to know how you're doing. It's good to like verbalize how you're feeling. So and also, if you get a chance, I'm telling y'all, man, the Patreon's about to start popping. We popping on the Patreon, man. Getting a lot more than done. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot more Patreon topics, a lot more everything, man. Especially today. Today's going to be a very interesting Patreon episode, and probably going to get back to Cruise or Screwed this weekend, hopefully. So with that, I want to say I love all of you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for listening. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.